And my eye is a little red right now because I've actually just finished crying. Good morning, everyone. I just finished a workout. Don't know if you can still tell that I'm out of breath. Just finishing my first cup of coffee. Didn't actually mean for it to match. Let me clean up a little bit, sort this mess out, and I'll show you what I eat in a day. Okay, now that I look a little bit more presentable, I am going to get on with breakfast. So, just to start off with, I plan what I eat probably the day before or the morning of my day on MyFitnessPal. If you haven't heard of it, download it. It's an absolute lifesaver. Basically, it tracks all of your calories for every single meal, snack, and drink that you have. Now, I do this for a couple reasons. The main reasons is that I don't want to go all out on breakfast, for example, and then get to dinner wanting a burger and realizing that I don't have enough calories to have a satisfying enough dinner. So I tend to break them up pretty evenly. I'm not like a breakfast skipper. I do like my breakfast, lunch, and dinner pretty solid, if you know what I mean. So starting off with breakfast, I don't really have, I have a go-to, which is probably granola or oatmeal, but I do like to mix it up a bit as well. Like sometimes I'll have eggs, sometimes I'll have cottage cheese, which I'm having today, and I'll talk about in a second. Sometimes I'll have a smoothie, or sometimes I'll have, um, something else. So it is very varied as well. And again, just want to remind everyone that everything that I'm eating, the calories that I'm eating, which is 1400 by the way, is all suited to my needs and what works for me and how my body feels. So, yeah, let's get on with it. Okay, so for breakfast, I am having cottage cheese. Now, it's a curded cheese. Don't get grossed out by it if you haven't heard of it before. If you've heard of ricotta cheese, it's quite similar to that in terms of texture. So this is it here. So I've actually just mixed it in with some protein yogurt. So I've got one pot of protein yogurt and half a um, container of cottage cheese. So all in all, this alone is probably about, the protein yogurt itself is 20 grams of protein, um, and cottage cheese is 40 grams of protein per pack. So 40 grams of protein this, right? And I haven't even put in my additions yet. What I'm going to put in, I've got this little jar of mixed seeds and nuts, but milled. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that on top as well, just for some extra fiber and omega-3. Now I'm also going to add some blueberries, one of my favorite desserts. I don't measure it out, I just go by the amount I want because, again, I feel like that is healthy. Now, I know that might sound a bit contradicting considering I literally calculate every calorie almost, but I do give myself a bit of wiggle room if, for example, later in the day I want to snack on peanut butter rather than cucumber. Huge calorie and fat difference. So I do give myself a bit of wiggle room in terms of how much calories I leave myself for snacking. Although I'm not a huge snacker, but I do snack. Now, I've added my blueberries, and I'm also going to add ground cinnamon. Now, I was watching one of those what I eat in a day videos of a Victoria's Secret model. I think it was like a compilation of them. And I found out something interesting, that when you're supposed to have ground cinnamon with blueberries or with acidic fruit in general, because the blueberries will give you a spike in your blood sugar, whereas your cinnamon will neutralize it. Something along those lines. Correct me if I'm wrong. I like cinnamon and blueberries together anyway, so I'm going to add it. Just a little sprinkle. And that is me. So that is what I'm going to have today. And it's about 40 grams of protein. Tastes delicious. And you will be so full afterwards, honestly. Now, I know this video says that it's a what I eat in a day video, but it's more going to be what I put in my body, if you know what I mean. So, you saw that I had my first cup of coffee this morning. I tend to stick to 1 cup of coffee. Maybe about 12, I'll have a second one. But that depends on how awake I am. I didn't sleep too good last night, but I did work out this morning, so I feel awake. Anyways, what I mean by what I put in my body is I also have a big glass of vitamin C just after my breakfast, and I take a couple of vitamins as well. So I take a calcium vitamin, a cod liver oil, and also a multivitamin. Now, I do not remember to take these every single day. I do try, um, but I don't eat as much fatty fish a week as I'd like to, or as my body would probably need. I'd probably eat it once every 10 days or something. And you're supposed to have it like twice a week. So I do take the cod liver oil for that purpose. And the calcium, if you've watched any of my previous videos or you're following me on Instagram, you'll know that I cut out dairy from my diet about 2 years ago because I love cheese so much and yogurt, and I mean, that's what I'm having for breakfast, cottage cheese and yogurt. And I thought if I cut out all the dairy, then I would automatically lose weight because it's such a high fat content section of the food chart, if you know what I mean. Um, that was wrong. Don't do that. The only thing it does is makes your bones super weak. And I had an injury in that time as well, and bones are still recovering. So take your calcium, take your dairy, and obviously you can get calcium from foods that aren't dairy as well, that are lactose free if you are lactose intolerant. Broccoli is one of them, but you can Google the list anyway. Anyways, okay, so I finished my breakfast and it was so good. You really have to try it if you haven't done so, especially because it's so high in protein as well. So I'm gonna get on with my day now. I'm gonna do some more research for my small business launch, and if you haven't heard about it, you should definitely check out my Instagram. I am launching 3 flavors of healthy granolas. I'll give you a little backdrop if you want, actually. They're vegan, they're gluten-free, they're oil-free, artificial-free, refined sugar-free, everything free, basically. No, seriously, though, and they taste really good. So I've got 3 flavors coming out: pistachio and orange, which is my new favorite now, chocolate and coconut, and a Christmassy flavor, which is like almond, raisin, and cinnamon. Yeah, really, really excited about that. Launch is the 29th of October. Save the date. I've got the whole website coming out and everything as well. And if you want to be on my mailing list to figure out so I can notify you as soon as it's ready, send me your email on Instagram or even private message on YouTube. Really don't mind. Yeah, so it's really scary. It's actually so scary and nerve-wracking and makes you really anxious, but at the same time, you're so over the moon and excited and happy and feel proud of yourself, because you're like, okay, I'm going to start something for myself, sort of thing. So yeah, okay, enough about that. If you want to know more about that, Instagram, The Russian Twist. You know the drill. Okay, so I've had a pretty busy day so far. I was just sorting out packaging for the granola, and I was on the phone to someone for advertising as well. He didn't end up actually selling me anything. I actually ended up selling him my granola because he is gluten intolerant, which is hilarious. Um, like I said before, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I have very minimal financial backing on this. So this is all riding on my hard effort, and that makes me hungry. So I'm starving. I'm gonna make lunch, and I don't really have a go-to lunch. It's just what I buy. Um, I mean, duh, but It's just what I'm in the mood for. And this week, I've really been in the mood for bagels. I love sandwiches. Bagels, in my opinion, is just the next step up. Me and my mom used to always get bagels all the time, and um, it's been hard to see her because of the whole COVID thing, so I'm a bit reminiscing on that. So I'm gonna make a bagel today, bagel sandwich, and I'll take you through how I make it. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut my bagel in half, and I'm also going to toast it because I feel like toasted bagels are just that much better. Okay, I have my toasted bagel and all my ingredients ready. So I am using this reduced fat hummus, red pepper hummus. It's so good. This new company called, I think it's Be Good to You, is releasing, well, they have released a range of like lower fat products. And this tastes just as good as the real stuff, but I think a quarter of a pot is about maybe 3 grams of fat, just under. Whereas a normal, just your standard one, thing of hummus, it's like, I swear it's like 30 grams of fat um, for a whole tub, which is, it just doesn't make it enjoyable because sometimes, you know, if you've got friends around or whatever, you will have the whole tub. Like you will. It's so good. Like you can just devour an entire tub of it. But yeah, that's what I'm using to moisten. Oh gosh, don't use that word. Okay, so I'm putting on my bagel. I'm also going to put on 3 slices of ham because they are low calorie, low fat, but good in protein. I have some red peppers in my fridge, so I'm just gonna throw a couple of them on, and I've just got some lettuce that I'm gonna smack on there as well. And just put the top on top and give this a slice. Okay. Hopefully this doesn't fall out on me. That looks really good. I cannot wait to dig into that. And on the side, typical sandwich crisps, classic, I'm gonna have these Snack Jacks. They are so good, low calorie crisps, 90 calories a pack. I mean, carbs on carbs. What more could you want? And that's my lunch for today, and I'm probably gonna top it off with a mandarin as well on the side. And I'm the type of person who has to have dessert after lunch or something sweet. So I've got myself a cup of tea and this Skinny Whip double chocolate bar. Again, less than 99 calories. It's so good. It's so chocolatey. If you see these, you definitely have to pick them up. They're so affordable as well. Okay, so it's about 20 to 7 now. It's time for dinner. Um, this is probably a little later than I would have dinner. I didn't snack. Oh, I had a mandarin between lunch and now. But besides that, I've actually been so engrossed in doing research and the granola, and when it's so true that when you're so passionate about something, you actually just forget to eat, because I would probably eat more than what I have today. Um, but when you're really busy, your mind is active, you realize that you don't need it. I had a cup of tea, had a glass of water, things like that. Um, but I did have a mandarin. So I would normally have dinner about 5:30, but I was on the phone to a couple people, so that held me up, and I am really hungry. And I mentioned burgers earlier. Tonight's burger night. So I don't actually have any buns, but that's a good thing because I ate a lot of carbs today anyway. I had a bagel and crisps, and a chocolate bar. So we're gonna have lettuce buns today, and I'm gonna show you how I make it. So normally I do make oven baked homemade fries, but seeing as it's a little late, I've got some frozen ones that I have just thrown on Just seasoned it with some smoked paprika and mixed herbs as well. And I am cooking for two, so, and he is a big lad, so, as in really tall, so he will definitely eat like this amount. I'll probably just have a little bit in the corner. So today I'm actually going to be using these reduced fat beef burgers. I always tend to go for the reduced fat version. And the first thing I'm going to do is just use this fry light spray. I'm using the garlic one because I only have garlic and coconut left. So garlic it is. And I'm just going to coat the pan before I actually turn the heat on. Just admiring this beautiful chopping board that I got from Meatless Farm. So kindly gifted to me. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to use this Eat Lean cheese. It's half the calories of cheddar, low fat, high protein. I mean, you can see it all there. And it looks like normal cheese, but it's 95% less fat, which I find amazing. So I'm going to be putting cheese onto my burgers as well. Honestly though, if you love cheese but don't like the calories and fat that comes with it, try this out. It tastes so good. Mm. Now what you want to do is just carefully place your burgers onto your pan. The one thing I really dislike about cooking for two is that we've got 4 burgers. I have 1, my boyfriend has 2, so we gotta fight over who has burgers for lunch tomorrow. I've seasoned it with some salt and pepper as well. So I'm a bit of a mayo addict, and this lighter than light mayonnaise from Hellmann's is so good. Literally, it's only 11 calories per tablespoon, whereas their original one is about 100 or 90 calories per tablespoon, so it really makes a big difference. You should definitely switch to this if you're looking to cut out any calories but still have your healthy dose of mayo. Look at these. So here is my subpar looking lettuce bun and dinner, but I'm sure it tastes so much better than it looks. Can we just recognize the portion difference here for him and her? And last thing of the night is just a low-calorie hot chocolate. It's by Cadbury. It's called Highlights. It's 38 calories per cup. It looks a little like this. I still have to mix it in a bit. And I tend to top it with marshmallows, but seeing as I just moved into my apartment 3 weeks ago, marshmallows have not been a priority. So that's me for the day. Well, I hope you all really enjoyed the video and got a little bit of an insight into what I eat in a day at 1400 calories. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm probably gonna have an ice cream as well, one of those Solero 99 calorie ones, or I've got some ice pops in there as well, which are like 50 calories. So I'll see. And my eye is a little red right now because I've actually just finished crying because I just got my website for my granola business. So you've been an emotional day with me today. And I got approved today as well by the food registration. So yeah, I'm over the moon. I'm definitely gonna treat myself to an ice cream now that I reminded myself of that. Anyways, have a great day. I'll see you all soon. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, subscribe, like, comment. Yeah, and I'll see you all soon.